So my name is Chris Schmidt. I am the owner of Studio 13, a small poster, sticker, t-shirt, greeting card store located in downtown Houghton. Is this on?
Yeah,
Okay. Today I'd like to talk about how Studio 13 came to be, what it is now, and what I hope it will become in the future. My background is in physics and geophysics, and through a serendipitous string of events, I ended up with a career as a technical translator, working for clients located in Germany and Switzerland. I translate technical German documents into English. I've been doing this for about 25 years. But about 10 years ago, I came to the realization that big data is eventually going to either put a lot of translators completely out of a job, or it's going to turn their job into something called post-editing, which is the arduous task of turning machine-translated documents into documentation that is more reader-friendly. So to offset any potential loss of income that I might personally incur should this transpire during my lifetime, I needed to look at other options to offset that loss of income. So I considered my options. There was at the top of the list, bicycle race photographer. I'm a passionate photographer and love to bicycle race, but the likelihood of me ever sitting on the back of a motorcycle shooting the Tour de France was about as likely as me ever racing in the Tour. Then there was technical writing. I'd worked as a technical writer for a few years and could always fall back on that. But after considering a glamorous profession like bicycle race photographer, it was hard to consider technical writing again. Then there was graphic design. During college, I had often created race posters and t-shirts for different bike race and ski races. During my time as a technical writer and a software developer, I had often envied the graphic designers I'd worked with who spent their days creating graphics and illustrations. So I decided that's what it was going to be. I was going to get up to speed in Illustrator and learn as much as I could about graphic design. I started out with race posters, volunteering my services to anyone who would have me. A few years and dozens of posters later, I started to be contacted by races I wasn't affiliated with and started to consider charging more than just a race entry for my services. And then my first break came when some friends and fellow cyclists in Marquette told me they were considering starting a business and asked if I could design a logo for them. That was the Ordach Brewing Company, which led to a long relationship and was my first real paying design gig. In addition to the logo and countless posters, I've done a dozen different bottle labels. But then I noticed something. As much as I love the design work and creating something new, especially when friends, bikes, and beer are involved, my relationship with the design ended when the project was over. And I thought, if my designs are worth something to these businesses and to these events, maybe there's a way that I can better capitalize on my skills. So I started out with some stickers and t-shirts, which I sold to friends. And then Cafe Rosetta and Calumet offered to carry some of my stickers and shirts in their shop. That went well enough that I decided to hold the course and see what else I could do. Moving ahead to 2 years ago, I started to focus on stickers that featured local landmarks and scenes that local visitors and residents might be able to relate to. So I put together a sell sheet, gathered a stack of samples together and marched down the street and was immediately confronted with the fear I'm facing today, that I was going to need to talk to people to sell these. But I overcame this fear and made my pitch to a few businesses, and within a few days had enough sales to develop some inventory of my own and sell some other stickers that I could develop and sell and have printed. The whole idea being to make the process self-funding without exposing myself to any unnecessary risk. The next break came when Isle Royal, the Isle Royal Visitor Center, gave me a call and said that they were interested in a couple of my designs and wanted to know what else I had to offer. I stopped by and they asked if I could provide them with the Ranger and Rock of Ages Lighthouse stickers in poster version. Calling around town to see if anybody could provide me with quality prints, and coming up empty-handed, I took the plunge and purchased a professional grade printer with the proceeds from the summer sticker sales. So now I was equipped with a printer and could produce high-quality posters of anything I wanted. But I was still faced with the problem of not being able to approach customers, individuals directly. Following in the footsteps of some other poster designers, I opened an online store and was soon sending posters across the country and over the Atlantic, especially posters featuring bike race designs. There was a lot to learn about online marketing, and I'm still in the process of learning how to better leverage that market. As Christmas 2017 approached, I decided to get out of my comfort zone again and try my luck at a Christmas market. That went reasonably well, and I realized after a couple of sales that A, it was potentially more financially rewarding to sell directly to individuals as opposed to working with clients, and B, it was actually a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to interact with people one-to-one and sell posters. As much as I enjoyed the Christmas markets, there was, I had the problem that the next Christmas was a year off. How was I going to sell posters, or what was I going to do to sell posters in the interim? I decided I could march down the street again and try my luck with local businesses, but the market for posters is probably a lot smaller than for stickers. I talked to my landlord at the Douglas Agency, where my current office is, and discussed the possibility of opening a small retail space upstairs, and they said, go for it. I had they rented me an office without a long-term commitment, so there was nothing really standing in my way of giving it a shot. So Studio 13 opened last Memorial Day weekend. It's located in Studio 13 up 322 Sheldon, and the upside down 13 is a nod to the secret language of road bicyclists, which involves turning your number 13 upside down to counter the bad juju often associated with 13. Hoping that maybe road cyclists would understand this code and make the trek up the stairs. Sales went well enough that first day on Memorial Day weekend that I was able to continue the rest of the summer pretty much worry-free and just see how things develop. They went well enough that I decided to, again, hold the course and hit the Christmas markets again this year and had good results. Though I'm still faced with the problem of how to entice people to make the trek up a flight of stairs past a set of heavy doors. I'm considering other options such as some new signage and perhaps joining the Keweenaw Chamber of Commerce. Something else to mention is that having a business downtown, even though I've been working downtown for downtown Houghton and downtown Hancock for the past 15 years, I never had any sense of belonging to the business community. Now that I was actually interacting with the general public as opposed to clients located thousands of miles away, it let me feel like I was part of the community. And I joined the Downtown Houghton Business Association, which has opened new doors and has resulted in new projects. I'm excited with how the business has gone thus far and am looking to see how it develops in the future. Thank you. Any questions? These are some of the posters that I done more recently that I found resonate more with customers, and things are constantly developing over time. Forgot that slide. Any questions?
I don't have a question, but I just want to compliment your aesthetic. It's really nice.
Thank you. Okay.
I guess I have
Sure.
a question. So are you concentrating just on printed, stickers and posters, or are you offering your graphic artist services for logo development and so on to others?
I do some of that, yes.
And you mentioned T-shirts as well. Do you actually print the T-shirts?
I don't print the t-shirts myself. I work with a local supplier.
Okay.
Is your website just for showing your portfolio, or can it be used for purchasing?
It's actually a web shop. And I left some cards out on the table with, there's a map, which is something I created, and the card with the bridge on it has additional information about where I'm located and hours and online store. Yeah.
First of all, I think you're very talented. And
Thank you.
Some very excellent work. You say you've got business 3222 Sheldon.
Right.
Do you have, when people can come up to you, do you have like a display of some items there that people can
Oh
see?
yeah, I have a wide selection of items. If the sign shown here, or one similar to that, is out front of 322 Sheldon, then I'm open. I'm usually there from 9 to 3, depending on the school schedule.
Any other questions? Wait, there's one more. So what can we as a community do to help support your business?
Stop by and take a look. That's about all I can ask.